It's that time again to grab another fistful of Joes, so stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name is Rob, and in this episode we are grabbing another fistful of Joes. I really wish there was some way I could spice up that intro even more month to month, because it all starts to sound the same. But, I mean, those are just the facts. If you haven't seen it before, I keep my G.I. Joes in these little bins. I have a bunch of them back here, and what I do is I reach in, grab a fistful of figures, pull them out, and we talk about them, review them, play with them, what have you. We just have a good time with some G.I. Joe figures, and yeah, I love the experience of this because, honestly, with them being in these little bins, I forget what all I have, and I don't get a chance to take them out and play with them or display them because I don't have the room. So I love this opportunity to just dive in and take a look at what I have, and yeah, invite you all on the journey. This is episode 20 of Fistful of Joes, and this past year I've made it a monthly show, series, whatever you want to call it, and before that it was just kind of spotty here and there because It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room was a much different show when I started it, and any OG viewers out there know it was completely different than what it is now. Back then I would do two different things, and yeah, now I just devote a whole episode to it. But anyway, there's something off. This is not technically number 20. I think we're on number 23. Somewhere along the line, because I used to number every It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room episode. I mean, it would be, and I said they were issues because I wanted it to be kind of like a channel magazine, if you will. As silly as that sounds, but it would be issue 1, 2, whatever. And somewhere along the line in the porting over, if you will, to this new monthly format, I messed up the numbering. So, like I said, this is actually number 23, but for the sake of argument, it is number 20. I've even thought about going back and redoing the thumbnails and descriptions and catching everything up, and then I was like, why bother? Because we're having fun. Who cares about a number? Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right in and grab a fistful of Joes.
Yo, Joe!
Okay, folks, here we go. Fistful of Joes. Let's pop the top to the container here and reach in and see what we get. Now, I can tell you, looking at the top of this box real quick, which I shouldn't have done because I should try to always keep it a surprise, there's a lot of doubles in here, a lot of troop builders, if you will. So if we get doubles, I apologize. I'll grab something else to occupy our time. Oh boy. Sorry, like I said, this kind of ruins the surprise. But here we go. I grabbed 5 of them, and I'm sure once I reach into this box, into a future installment, we will see some of the same figures, but that's okay. We can talk about them again because they're awesome. Anyway, let's start with the first one here, and that is a Cobra soldier. Cobra officer, actually. Here's the original file card. And
I probably always get this wrong, but I believe this is from the Joe vs. Cobra line, or somewhere along there, the Venom vs. Valor line. I mean, they all kind of all meshed in together in the early 2000s. So here's the file card that came with the figure, and let's take a look at the figure. Let's put his accessories here. And one of the things I love about this line is they used the original molds for the most part. Just new paint applications, just different paint. I mean, it seems so much more, I don't know, I don't want to say vibrant, but there's just something different about the paint that they used with these figures. Unfortunately, his emblem is not colored in with this figure. Should be a silver or something. I mean, they have silver here on his webbing, so they should have incorporated that up here. But anyway, we have Cobra symbols on either side of his helmet. Hopefully you guys can see that. As I've apologized 100 times before, this camera is not the best for up-close stuff. So with that being said, let me pull it back just a tad. It's not as aesthetically pleasing because you can see some of the stuff here. But anyway, here we go. This Cobra officer. It is a nice figure. I mean, I always wanted the Cobra soldiers and officers when I was a kid, but never had any. Always wanted, you know, a bunch of them to troop build, but didn't even have a single one. So by the time I started collecting again and these were out there, I bought as many of them as I could. So I have a bunch of them. And this one may have come in a big box set. I'm not 100% certain, and I don't really remember wholeheartedly because they all kind of look alike, but I think it may be part of a set where they introduced, you know, different diversity in the Cobra figures, and they even had a green shirt pack that had more diversity with the Joes, which was awesome because that's, I mean, that's realistic. That's the way it should be. And I'm glad they did that. Which, who is it? Reaction Figures or whoever are doing the new figure line, you know, where it's just like the, you know, 4-5 points of articulation figures. They have those diverse figures as well, which I think is top notch. Fortunately, I don't have the money to get all of them, but you get the point. So let's see here if this offers any. I mean, this is not broke, I don't think. That's just how he was made. I mean, so there is like a cheapness to this compared to the originals. But, I mean, I think they were just limping along as best they could with this line. And I still ate it up. I still got as many as I could. Still a fan of them. So let's put him down and take a look at, and I'm sorry for bumping the camera here. This is the gun that originally came with the Viper figures, and it was gray back then, but now it's a black version of this rifle. So very cool. You have the AK-47 that the Cobra figures came with. This time it has a nice scope on top, and it's more clunkier, more thicker and bulkier than the original AK-47 that they came with. And he comes with a pistol. Unfortunately, if this was like the 25th anniversary line, he would have a holder to put his pistol into, and heck, that knife came out and everything else. But this was before they jumped into the 25th anniversary line. And like I said, it's just a great reproduction of the original figure. A little bit weird with the paint on the eyes. Like I said, it just seems like a wholly different painting process that they did with these. But anyway, there's that. And we shall put him back in his bag and put him off to the side. And let me add, if anything funky happens here, I'm noticing this camera's battery is almost out, so it might stop and I might have to swap batteries, and hopefully it won't just ruin anything. So next, since we're looking at Cobra Troopers, there's this one. And I forget the name of this one in particular. I mean, the 25th anniversary line took this kind of motif and made it like a jetpack trooper. And, you know, that was awesome. This is, I mean, it's the same figure as the officer we just looked at. Different paint. A lighter blue that's more reminiscent of like Cobra Commander's blue. The emblem is actually painted in on this one to be gold. And it's more flared out to accommodate this gas mask that he has. And these awesome sunglasses, goggles that he has on. So it's practically the same figure, just different colors and a different head. And that's still awesome. As far as being the same figure, he even comes with the same armaments, minus the pistol. Let's throw them in the bag, and let's just take a look at how great this helmet is. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do something like this sooner in the line, to be honest. I mean, it's a simple thing that they could have done to save some money, pop out a new figure, and get some sales. I mean, same mold, same color, same everything, just new head. See if there's any info here. Oh, we got something. Got a tag here. This says 1991 Hasbro. So whatever mold that they originally used was from 91. This, granted, this did not come out in 91. This came out in the early 2000s. And it was part of the same line as the other figure. So I think it's the Joe vs. Cobra line, I think is how you say it. So let's throw him to the side because we just took a look at a good Cobra figure and he's about the same. Now this figure, really awesome. Red Ninja Viper. And they pretty much just repainted Storm Shadow version 2. And it's simple, it's great. Can't have too many ninjas. And believe me, I went wholehearted on these as troop builders for the 25th anniversary line, the Red Ninjas, which are different than this, and we'll get into them one day. Like I said, this box is a lot of troop builders, so I might have to skip this box the next installment and get back into like the figures. But yeah, he comes with 2 sickles or commas. Oh, yeah, the one thing about these figures too is it's a different type of like plastic almost than the originals to a degree. The thumbs just feel a lot stiffer, like ready to break, so don't want to break them. I mean, that's just a great looking figure right there, ready to attack a G.I. Joe from the trees. Yeah. See if we have any markings here. We do. Hasbro 2004. So this mold is more akin to the time period that the figure came out, opposed to these Cobras, which said 91. So the paint could be definitely better on the face. I know you can't really see without it being blurry, but the eyes just have a wonkiness to it. But I mean, great figure, and you can't beat the mold that they used. I mean, Storm Shadow version 2 is by far one of my favorite figures of all time. I mean, simply because I always wanted a Storm Shadow, never got the original, so version 2 is the one I was able to find at the stores, and I loved it. And here that is. And sorry we're not spending more time with them, but I'm kind of scared of this running out of juice. So let's get to another type of trooper. This one is very unique, comes with very unique accessories, and I got this at Toys R Us in a pack. This is Gallows, the Plague Trooper, and he is a character, not just a troop builder. His name is Gallows. Doesn't have any of the usual, aliases or birthplace unknown or anything like that. But it says Gallows sees himself as the judge, jury, and hangman. If he comes to a battlefield near you, expect heavy fire with a marksman's accuracy combined with remarkable speed and efficiency. Now, I remember picking this up at Toys R Us. It was one of the first G.I. Joe things that I bought when I got back into collecting again. And here is the figure. And, I mean, such a great design. You can see where some of the... see, look at this. That was new at the time. He still has an O-ring, but he's more posable. Has more points of articulation than normal Joes. The wrists move. Head. But what I was going to say was, with all this gear built up on them, it's almost like they were starting to plan the 25th anniversary line. And I mean, look at how well sculpted, I don't know if you can see, this gun is. It looks like you should be able just to take it right out of the holster. But weird, just how small the torso is in this area by the waist. I mean, that very different at the time. So I really enjoyed this figure. Like I said, it was one of the ones that I got when I got back into collecting, and super stoked that I got it. One of those things that, wow, if I would have left it in the package, it would be worth so much money from what I've heard, but who cares? Take it out, have fun with it. He also came with this bandolier. Oh, that attaches to his big gun. Sorry for any background noise. That is the spin cycle, which I have called out on occasion. Okay, but here's the question. Let's look at the accessory. A minigun. Something that has kind of become commonplace in G.I. Joe as of late with the Roadblock re-release figure and everything like that. But it was revolutionary at the time. Oh, and he just comes with a basic stand, which was cool, and a knife. So, that being said, this bandolier thing that it comes with has grenades and a couple pouches on it, which are cool. And yeah, simply goes here. But where's the other side go? Am I missing something here? Or does it just loop around and go back to this? That could be. Let's go with that. So with that being said, let's put it in his hands first here. My battery is at 8% and taunting me at the moment. But we only have one more to get through, so fingers crossed it lasts and I don't have to swap batteries. So here he is holding it. So let's say this is what happens. It goes around here. Plugs in there. There we go. That makes sense. So there we go, Gallows. Kind of a forgotten Cobra plague trooper. Anyway, let us go to the next figure. First, let's put him back in his bag, so I don't have to mess with that later. I can just put him into the box of ones we've already looked at. So put his stuff in here. And this is, again, another Cobra-centric episode, which is cool. Because this figure, I don't know where he lies within the fans, but I dig this design. And it is Swamp Rat. Now, at the time, he came in different colors and what have you, but I sought out this color because I think it just looks great. The green version. And his thing comes with a little tail, which is kind of odd. So we'll just take that off because we don't need it. And he comes with this rifle. So we're looking at the accessories first because, I mean, for some reason I just dig this character. Oh, he also has a knife here on his side, so that's cool for the time period. But he looks like trash when you take his helmet off. I'm just not a fan of that head. So this comes off. And the one thing about the figures at this time, they just looked very big-shouldered with the big ball joints here, thin waist, and oh, he comes with 2 knives. My apologies. 2 knives on each side, which fits with the whole creeping through the swamp and get ya. And if I'm not mistaken, the whole background on this guy is they are actual troopers, and they're genetically altered to be in the swamps. So this guy would be cool if, like, helmed by Crocmaster with a bunch of these guys. That would be really neat. I never saw it like that. I just like envisioning it as a standalone character. Got his Cobra insignia here. But yeah, that just not very impressive. But when you put the helmet on, very cool. I mean, I love the ears that are on it. I love the goggles. And that face mask just fits nicely once the helmet's on. So I'm a fan of this figure. I like to envision it as his own character of Swamp Rat. And yeah, not a troop building thing. So I like to use my imagination, and he's just a character. So if I did believe in the troop mythos of it, which is the truth, but I could see, you know, a handful of these guys with Crocmaster leading them. I think that would be great. But the Crocmaster at this time, I did not buy because very unhappy with him because he's bald just like all of them without his cool mask. So why bother? Anyway, this is whoa, little slip up there. Swamp Rat, and here's his gear. Like I said, the tail, kind of a neat addition. I guess you could stab people with it like a scorpion. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of dug this character, and I like this color scheme over the other ones. So anyway, that was Fistful of Joes, number 20, possibly number 23, depending on how you want to look at it. But we're going with 20 as the official number. So stick him back in his bag, and I hope you enjoyed it. Back to me.
Okay, folks, back to me, like I just said. And let me, if you stuck around this long, let me apologize, because the camera that I use for that, I have a light attached to it. And I just discovered as I was cleaning up the area, I forgot to turn the light on. So I apologize if they look a little dark. I'm also having lighting issues in the laundry room still, that I addressed a couple episodes ago. Just for the simple fact of, I haven't climbed up there and gotten the part number that I need. Once I get it, it should be a quick fix, but yeah, I apologize for the lighting issues. Yeah, I just forgot to turn the light on. My bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that Cobra-centric episode of Fistful of Joes. We've had a couple that were just all Cobra, and hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, Cobra is awesome. One of the best villain teams ever in media, ever. And these were 5 figures from all the same time period of the Cobra versus G.I. Joe, Venom versus Valor time period. Like I said, the eras or whatever all kind of blend together in the early 2000s. I feel like Hasbro was just trying their best to keep G.I. Joe afloat, and it did for a while until the 25th anniversary line came along, and yeah, everyone jumped on that. The figures were awesome, and yeah, it kind of petered out from there until now with the classified figures, which are awesome, and the retro figures, but we won't talk about those because I'm not the super biggest fan of them, because I feel like they're just reproductions of the 25th anniversary line, which are great figures, but I have everyone that they're soliciting. If they had something new, I definitely would jump on, but just feel like I would just be doubling up on stuff that I already have. Anyway, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down below, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.